arrives only through destruction of the existing world order. The modern revolutionary believes with fanatical conviction that the old order needs to be destroyed. Violence is necessary to fulfill the prophecy. Terror is an instrument for achieving and maintaining power. This apocalyptic vision, in which the new world order springs out of the old, relegates individuals to treatment as abstract entities that either stand on the side of revolution or on the side of reaction. In the 20th century, millions of people have died at the hands of revolutionary monsters who come into power, calling for the liberation of people against their oppressors. Mass murder within these revolutionary regimes was not a coincidence. Terror is instrumental to the modern revolutionary. Mass murder follows without apology. Terror is employed to maintain power within the regime and is used against the revolutionaries' internal and external enemies. The Islamic Republic of Iran, for example, executed tens of thousands of alleged enemies of the state and today maintains order through a regime of mass arrests, torture, and imprisonment. Support of international terrorism against the American infidels or Zionist Israel has followed without qualm. Today, the word revolution connotes upheaval, but its origins begin in modern usage as an astronomical term, employed by the Polish scientist Copernicus, who in the early 16th century used the word in its Latin sense to describe a reoccurring cyclical movement of planets. The word meant planets revolving back to a pre-established point. In this sense, revolution meant restoration. When the word began as a political term, it too meant restoration. The Glorious Revolution of 1689, which brought William and Mary to the throne in England, was seen as a restoration of ancient liberties. The American Revolution, less than a century later, demanded the restoration of liberties and the universal rights of Englishmen. It was the French Revolution that introduced to the modern world a revolutionary vision in which the old order is destroyed to create a new world, a new millennium for humankind. The modern concept of revolution, denoting the destruction of the old order through violence and terror, found articulation in the French Revolution. The French Revolution came in the age of democratic revolutions that followed the American Revolution. Revolutionaries found, however, that the American model was not easily replicated. Those French officers who had fought in the American Revolution had been warned. You will carry our sentiments with you, but if you try to plant them in a country that has been corrupt for centuries, you will encounter obstacles more formidable than ours. Our liberty has been won with blood. Yours will have to be shed in torrents before liberty can take root in the old world. The French Revolution began when King Louis XVI of France convened the Estates General in May 1789 for the first time since 1614. The Estates General represented the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. In June, the Estates General transformed itself into a National Assembly, which undertook to abolish slavery, placed the Catholic Church under state control, and extended the right to vote. The French Revolution began as a claim to restore the ancient powers of the estate, but under the threat of counter-revolution, social unrest, and war with Austria, Britain, and Prussia. A reign of terror began in 1793 with the establishment of the Committee of Public Safety, headed by Maximilien Robespierre and his Jacobean faction. Under Robespierre, a wave of violence was unleashed to root out alleged counter-revolutionaries. Robespierre personified the modern revolutionary mind. Upon his rise to power, a new calendar was declared, churches were ordered closed, and Christianity was replaced by the deist cult of the Supreme Being. At least 16,000 people were executed during the Reign of Terror by revolutionary tribunals in trials in which procedural